to begin with here, let me start by telling you guys a bit about Achille and Saiga. Um, as far as Achille, there's not that much to tell that you guys don't know. I mean, everyone seems to know he was one of the best insta players of all time. Member of Spank from, gee, I don't know, 2010, 2011. I wonder if I can find it on the Spank site really fast. Spank.net. Clan members. Go to Achille, see when he joined the... He created his profile on the 2nd of January 2011. So it looks like he joined Spank in around 2011 sometime. And he had actually been in JG before, which is kind of funny considering how much of a rivalry we had with JG. But Achille was actually a former JG. SWL launched in January of 2011 as well. So right after he joined Spank was also when he launched the SWL tournament with the help of the legendary Marku and later on also Pisto. So he was a tournament admin, but also a acknowledged amazing player. In fact, in the first SWL event, he did not place. Let's see how many SWL events it took for him to break out into the scene. Okay, it took a whopping 2 SWL events. In the second SWL event, he beat Hanzik 1 in 3 maps. The maps were, amusingly, Turbine, Pitch Black, and Ladder. He actually lost Turbine by 2 frags, then 1 Pitch Black by 6, and then 1 Ladder by 10. So, he had to beat Zentral and Fragsta to get to the... And Finn also, who was a very good insta player. He had to beat those guys to get to the... to the final. I need to blow my nose. Be right back. Yeah, I'm a human being. Sorry, man. I can't help my species. I have human needs. Next time I'll say something like, I need to go tend to my eucalyptus plants, and then just go secretly blow my nose. So anyway, as I was saying, he right away he was winning insta titles. But he was not dominant right away. He lost his next title to Hanzik, who had a very interesting route to get there. Asylum was still good at this time. Asylum beat Frosty, who was still going by Afro Ninja. And then he beat Finn, otherwise known as Kajiko. And then Asylum versus Hanzik played in the semifinal bronze match, whatever you want to call it. Hanzik won on Complex by 1 frag in order to qualify and face Achille, who he beat pretty well, 109 94, 118 to 110 on OT and Turbine respectively. So, so that was Achilles' start, but by the 2012 era, he was getting to the final pretty consistently. I just clicked on a random one. This one was the essentially Spank intern. By this time, Saiga had joined the clan. I think this is the time to transition to talking about Saiga. So, Saiga is a good friend of mine from high school. I was playing Sour for a lot longer than him, but he always, you know, knew I was playing Sour. We used to play it on school computers and stuff, and he would just run around Academy with bots. He was fortunate enough to have a WMO and a CRT, which is all you need to play Sour, and even on the oldest laptop in the world. So eventually he started getting more into the game, and if I go to the Spank News Archive, let's see when Saiga joined the clan. Let's see here. There's a news post about Solia, who I was talking about yesterday. Coming back. It's got to be around now. This one's about me being FFA Grand Champion. I like these news posts. But I'm not finding exactly when Saiga joined. I can see when Saiga left us. That was something that I'll get to. Welcome Fear. Good times, good times. Me, Achille, and Echo winning ICTF. Sexy One winning the Intern FFA Championship. Collect Edition comes out. That's too far. But I didn't think that these are all about Kuzin winning insta titles. There's Zuka, who I was also talking about yesterday, winning titles. But I can't find exactly when Saiga joined, so forget about that. But he joined sometime in 2012, I'm fairly certain. Maybe late 2011. And so yeah, let's focus on Saiga here. As I said, he was my friend in high school, but he had, you'll see kind of from his style, the guy was an accuracy freak, and he aimed in a very unique way. He had pretty low sense, not that low compared to what some players have, but lower than a lot of players had at the time. And a funny story about Saiga, back in high school, he'd never really played any first-person shooter games before, and I mean, neither had I till freshman year in terms of computer FPS. But anyway, we went to play, I think, Portal at my friend's house, and Saiga was there, and we wanted to watch him play through Portal because we were all of ours had our minds blown by Portal at this time. And so Saiga's trying to play Portal. He just could not, like, he couldn't even WASD, you know? Like, WASD was too... The connection between WASD, moving the mouse in three-dimensional space, it just wasn't there for him. And in a way, he never really got it. Like, through his entire time play, like, he would play, the way he would play Half-Life 2 would be to walk somewhere and then stop and just shoot everyone. Like, he just couldn't combine all the movements naturally. So that sort of shows in his aim in Sauerbraten, in that even though he'd obviously, you know, become a competent FPS player by that time, his way of aiming was always very mouse-based. It was always, he would take flick shots on everything, but these low-sense flick shots. So it kind of looked like he was just spazzing out all the time, and as a result of that and the fact that he would just go on public ICTF servers and shoot like 50-60%, he just got banned everywhere. Like, he was the most notorious cheater. Also, he liked to play under aliases a lot, mostly Fluttershy. He even had like a fake clan going. Like, yeah, he was sour public enemy #1 for a bit, and I'm like losing my shit. Like, guys, I know this guy personally. Like, I helped teach him the game. I can go over to his house right now, watch him play. He's not hacking. Stop banning him. But it took a while for the message to get through. So that was how Saiga came up. And he joined Spank, and we had a lot of success. Potato joined Spank at the tender old age, totally above the legal Spank age of 13. But as we like to say, he was a very cool 13-year-old, or 14, or whatever the fuck he was. And we had a lot of success. We won some ECTF around this time with Potato, and we won a lot of ICTF. We didn't even have... If you look at the SWL ICTF records, I don't know whether the graphic that's currently up is correct, but on my graphic, Spank won 2 grand championships, e.g. we won 6 titles all in a row, and then we won 1 other title, and then we had 4 silver medals in SWL ICTF. So that was good for us. JG is the only clan that came even close. They had 1 grand championship, 1 title, and 2 silver medals. And behind them was Vac with two titles and 2 silver titles. So anyway, Saiga was very successful in Spank. Spank was very successful because of him. And let me tell you about Saiga's route to the top in Insta. So in September 2011, we go to SWL. We do not see any appearance by Saiga. Achille actually got eliminated by DM Pete and didn't even make it to the end. Echo got taken out by Hanzik, but Kuzin won the final for us, so everything was fine. But yeah, no sign of Saiga yet. And then SWL took a bit of a break. There was an Insta ladder, There were some problems. I don't know what Achille was doing, but in something involving like losing everything, which is why it's so hard to get these old results. But back in April 2011, SWL comes back, and Saiga had arrived. So in this tournament, he did not really go anywhere. He placed 7th. This is April 2012 in the Alveol and lost to Achille in the quarterfinals. So Saiga's first loss to Achille, April 2012. May 2012, Saiga comes back hard, and he gets all the way to the grand final. He goes through Tichen, he goes through me, 81 to 77, and he qualifies along with Achille because the last tournament had been a grand final, had been a grand championship win, so the winner was banned for a month. So there was no title holder. Kuzin was banned, and it was for 2 people to qualify, and Achille and Saiga qualified. Achille actually beat Art in the semifinals to get to this qualification, so that was their one of their earlier matchups. It wasn't particularly close. So that was Saiga's first final appearance, and he did well. The maps were Academy, Complex, and Turbine, and Saiga managed to win Complex, but he lost on all the other maps. So Achille won that one. So that's 2 to Achille and 0 to Saiga. July, SWL. Saiga, again, qualifies. He goes through Kabuza. He goes through Fear. He goes through Echo Echo. All on dues, by the way. And he comes up against Achille, and this was a hilarious final. Because if you look, which you can't, I have to put all this stuff online, I'm sorry. It's a best of 3 grand final, but there are 4 maps listed because the first map was Pitch Black, which Achille liked to pick to be a troll, and the score was 12 to 17, but Saiga was livid. He's like, this is not a real insta map. You can't just go picking whatever random bullshit. This is bullshit, and you need map pools, and this is stupid, which I agreed with. And SWL did eventually get map pools. Then Achille, let's see, who won dues? I think Achille lost dues and 1 turbine. Yeah, Achille lost dues and 1 turbine, so that made him the victor. But he didn't like that Saiga was treating the result as bullshit because of Pitch Black, so they played a 4th map, which was the completely legitimate ladder. Insta ladder was a thing, and Achille won that 157 to 134. So Achille 3, Saiga 0. August comes around. Let's see what happened to Saiga. Saiga wasn't there, so Saiga no-showed August, and I believe Achille won the final, which I think makes him grand champion. So then SWL September 2011, Saiga again, so 2012, Saiga again, not there, doing something else with life. Hanzik and Fear get to the final, where Fear actually wins. Fear was in Spank this time, so we were all very proud of him. And that was, I think, Fear's only insta title, perhaps? SWL October 2012. Saiga is back. He tops the Alveol with 130 frags on Ryson, coming in ahead of Echo Echo, and beats Rexus very, very badly on Complex in the quarterfinals. Goes up against Achille in the semis. Oh no, it's Achille again. Achille beats him in the semis, is now Achille 4, Saiga 0, and Achille beats Fear in the title match. Onwards to SWL 14, and we take a huge jump forward into 2013 because this was the beginning of the DDoS, and DDoSes suck, and this is the first time Sauerbraten had ever really had problems with DDoSes, and it was fucking up our tournaments. But we tried again in 2013, and finally, Achille was not playing. Saiga gets his tournament win. He goes through Luffy, he tops the Alveol, he goes through Luffy, he goes through Gangler, he goes up against Kuzin and wins the final pretty handily. Like, it wasn't even close. Saiga absolutely obliterates Kuzin on Turbine and then wins dues by a small margin. This brings us to now. Saiga has left Spank. He abandons us. He takes Potato with us, our new hot recruit who is absolutely destroying the competition. And he's like, you know what? Thanks for everything you did, but I'm going to go form my own clan. And we'd been kind of invite only. We were pretty selective about our recruits because we already had so many top players. and he just sort of left us, and I was pretty pissed off because we had like, it was basically just me, Achille, Echo, and Kuzin left behind to try to make like a live clan out of. So there was a lot of bad blood over that, and Saiga and Potato, they wanted to make S9 work. Every match between S9 and Xpang from then on was this huge grudge match. ICTF had sort of a similar story. If you ask Potato about that, he'll give you a whole rant about it, so maybe you should ask Potato about that. But we won the title matches in ICTF too in a way that Potato thinks was rather unfair. So anyway, March 2013, the stage is set. We have Saiga, who, as I was sort of missed out on, was the first insta-gib player to really say, you know what, running out into the open, jumping and shooting all the time is not the best way to play this mode. I'm going to play this mode by being tactical in my movement, not always going out into the open when people want me to, and yeah, you know, I would like to win. I don't care how I play. So, you know, that made him infamous in his own way, even though compared to some other players that you'll see today, or other players back then who weren't as good, it's really kind of tame. But, so we've got him going up against Achille, who, as you saw yesterday, will accuse you of serious gayness just for going in a tunnel, in a bad blood matchup over leaving the clan, over a clash of styles, over Achille being 4-0 or 5-0, I forget what I said, against Saiga, spanning back years. Well, spanning back at least an entire year. Saiga has finally gotten his first title against Kuzin, and he wants to beat Achille for the first time. And both players are so far above anyone else. And here is the final. So we're going to start off here on, let's see, I believe we start off on Turbine. So I hope you're all still here after story time, because now we're going to get to some action. Let me just find what I'm looking for. I have found what I'm looking for. Launch the sour machine, make sure it's working. Sour machine appears to be working. Let's go full screen here. And we are ready to rumble. Here goes Achille versus Saiga, the final SWL grand final, because again, DDoS killed SWL, plus Achille wanted to move on with his life. It was just too much work at this point. And yeah, so stage is set. Here we go. Oh, no, one thing's wrong. Sound is coming out of my speakers. I don't want that because that's wrong. Buzzkill, let's try this again. Headphones. Test. Perfect. Sour machine. Sour machine. Sour machine. Here we go again. And I'm gonna start on Saiga. You'll see that chat is on. There's gonna be some really stupid chat, including from me, because it was hidden from the players, so people were allowed to chat as much as they wanted. You can see it right away. No one aims like Saiga. No one before or since has aimed the way Saiga does. Both players get off to kind of a rocky start here. Achille misses everything for the first half of the first minute and then goes on fire. Sick flicks, man. Absolutely ridiculous. But then on shots like that, it looks super awkward because he's like moving this low sense really oddly. And then he misses that easy shot. But then he hits that shot. Like, God, man. Look how awkward that looks. See, he's aggressive. He doesn't stay there like Raphael did last turn, but he will use the area to reposition and give himself some time to make the right play. And here he's just going on a ridiculous run. Yeah, Breck, I'm not entirely sure what you were talking about, but I'm really annoying in this chat. Like, it's kind of embarrassing. Saiga had been getting in the habit of, like, commentating in chat, and I was trying to imitate him, but I just really wasn't good at it yet. And, like, I don't know, man. But, I'm over it, so. Meanwhile, Achille, Saiga's gotten out to a pretty hefty lead. He's already on 111 plus frag pace. But Achille keeping it close, goes on a huge run here. And let's check the accuracy, shall we? Saiga is shooting a highly respectable 45%. Achille, hindered by his really terrible start, is down at 42%. Both these players would regularly shoot 50% in practice duels, but on the last biggest stage, with all the pressure on, things weren't quite so easy. No. Saiga's sensitivity was pretty low. Not super low, but it was lower than a lot of people's at the time. Well, we've been watching Saiga for a while. Let's see what Achille had back then for a bit. You can see he's sort of struggling to hit Saiga's movement. And also, he's just gotten off to a pretty bad start this game in general. As you can see in the chat also, Raphael, under his old name, Whoop Art, hanging out. Just be quiet, cheat cunt, says Raphael, accurately. Nerves were definitely apart. Both players were definitely nervous for this. So, we've turned to following Achille, but while we've been doing so, Saiga has actually grown his lead almost to 10. But not quite breaking it wide open. See, Saiga's not coming out and giving him the open shots he wants, which, at the time, again, just people didn't really do that. Until after Saiga. Except for Bug, who always played that way in every mode, but he wasn't that good, so people just made fun of him. You were part of the clan with Sparta? That's hilarious. Yeah, the chat isn't super productive this match. A little bit focused on things other than the match, but it was the first map, so, you know. This game's still about where it's been the whole time. Achilles not hitting the accuracy that he maybe wants, but he's keeping it within 10. Down to 6 right now. Let's check the accuracies. Saiga's dropped down to 44, Achilles still hovering around 42. And again, you recognize that move, run into the enclosed area and get killed, the Achilles special. And again, great movement from Saiga there. Let's watch some more Saiga. We know what Achille looks like. We saw him all of yesterday. And you can see it. Saiga was just never that fast. Like, there's been a lot of spawns where he hasn't done the 360 to check the spawn behind him. Like, his whole thing is kind of makes him look seasick because he's swinging this mouse around. He was just never really struck me as super comfortable with WASD. And there, he's just totally looking in the wrong direction. Odd choice of words, but I am essentially telling the truth because, in general, that Saiga would just capitalize on all your aggressiveness and kill you. But with Achilles' aim and maybe some mental advantage over Saiga for the most part, with the 4-0 record, he would just continue playing his style, and we've seen that he does that. He did it against Art, and it did get him a map. There's a little dating for you, in terms of the cultural references. And there's Jason. What up, Jason, you fucker? You can't poison me, hot dog man. Oh no, the hot dog man, he's like, he says you can't buy me, hot dog man. The energy drink is the poison. Anyway. Yeah, I think miss came from like Counter-Strike. Anyway, 45 seconds to go. Achille has closed the gap to within 2. After leading the whole game by comfortable margins, the pressure is on for Saiga. And you can see Saiga is not going to give up anything easy. You can see his frustration. Oh, I spawned somewhere open. But now it's up to him to get his lead back. It's tied with 17 seconds to go. He fires and randomly hits a box. That's nerves. Achille gives him an easy shot. Saiga, he's gonna hide. It's a mutual. 6 seconds. Saiga immediately runs for cover. Achille runs around behind him but misses. 2 frags, 2 seconds. Saiga has got it. And Saiga takes the first map, with them both ending up at a nervous 43%. And Saiga takes his first... probably his first turbine ever versus Achille. I don't know. Certainly the start he needed to this grand final. And we'll sit here and watch the chat scroll for a bit until the demo officially ends. Shinnok was there. Achilles always been one of the best trash talkers in the game. Saiga, not to be outdone. I just laughed at my own joke. That's kind of sad. Whose house is on fire? Saiga's house is on fire. Tangerine plays with arrow keys in his feet. Reborn is getting snobby about the whole thing. Saiga worried that Jason is taking him too seriously. And that's it. We end with Chance suggesting suicide. The kind guy that he is. And it's time for, I believe the demos are also titled the same. Yep, we're on Academy. And we will start on Achille because that's where I started. Achille leads with Chicken Run, which was the title of a movie. But it's ironic because this is Academy, and they're both probably going to play it more aggressive than you would ever see from Frosty today or anything like that. And it is a best of 3, so Achille needs to win this on the chicken map in order to not embarrassingly lose to Saiga in the last insta event of SWL. Granted, he didn't know for sure at the time that it was the last event, but it was. So the pressure is on big time. Catches Saiga unaware there. Gets off to a nice 8-6 lead. Plays that one wrong, but now he's got Saiga spotted out. Saiga makes an aggressive push towards the jump pad. Works out for him. Why don't you just ask Skills? Just whatever Skills says is fine with me. Or ask Potato. I am not a member of S9, so just not for me to rank. He ranks in terms of I forgot he was in the clan. Historically, this map favors Achille, apparently, which is very odd. But apparently it did. And Jason immediately calls me out on the bad typecasting. And he's not wrong, but I thought Saiga was pretty good when he would do it. Achille out to a 3-frag lead, a very high pace on Academy. 17-14 with only 2 minutes gone. Another kind of Achilles. Alright, shut up about Saiga's stall. Another kind of Achilles special there, you know, up the jump pad kills. The exact sort of thing that shouldn't work, but that players back in the day did anyway. Achille actually sort of stalling himself right now, and gets around the corner and gets Saiga, making him look bad. Jason and I, you may see why we've had some bad blood for a while. Saiga has just gone on a pretty serious run, and the game is back to a really close score. Let's watch Saiga for a bit. The mobility of this map is probably not to Saiga's favor, even though, in a way, stylistically, it would seem to favor him. You can see he's just coming up short on a lot of these mid-air shots. QS Mephisto, there's a sight for you guys. Well, as I say all that shit in chat, Saiga goes on a sick run, brings it back to 3, but does not work out. Up the jump pad. Let's see where the accuracies are at. Probably pretty low given the way they're playing this map. Yeah, down in the 30s. Yeah, we all missed skills. That could have changed the competitive history of Sour. Achille also had the lower rack on Turbine, so, you know. Shut up, me. It's like I'm missing a really easy shot there and then after. Echo pointing out that I do not have Saiga's chat skills. Echo pointing out that I am homosexual. Achilles, you can see, is just rifle jumping around the map, which, even back in the day, that is something that only Achille ever did. Like, no one did that, period. But Achille would just rifle jump around the map in the middle of a duel just to piss you off. Did these guys use gaming mouse? Yeah, Achilles used the same mouse his entire career. It's the same one Starch uses, the Logitech G9X laser mouse. And then Saiga was using a WMO, Wheel Mouse Optical, the legendary Microsoft Wheel Mouse Optical that was designed back before gaming mice were even a thing and was somehow totally perfect. Let's go back to Achille and see how he's distinguishing his academy. About 3 minutes to go, and really the score has not moved. Achilles' rifle jump works out pretty good there, and then he runs through the teleporter and dies. Standing completely still there, giving Saiga the easiest shot possible. And it's down to 2, which is 1 less than the smallest lead Achilles had for a while. Achille again with the cocky rifle jumps. That is a sick shot. Alright, let's go back to Saiga. He's down 3, he's got 1:30. And if he wins this map, it's all over. Haha! Another Solia reference. See? See? Solia is real. Still 2 frags. Saiga somehow misses that shot. Saiga somehow misses that shot. At this point, you can see that nerves are a huge factor. And Achille has let Saiga take the lead. If Saiga wins, it's all over. Saiga has finally beaten Achille and embarrassed him in his own tournament after leaving his clan. 2 frags, 35 seconds. Of course I remember Pete. All tied up. And Saiga stands back. Will Achille rush in? No, he won't. He wants to win. Saiga almost gets the drop on him. Achille goes to the teleporter. 6 seconds. Will either of these players make a move? Achille makes a move, nothing happens, and we're going to overtime. Oh, I don't know who Pete R is now. With an extra 2 minutes secured, Achille is ready to go back to pushing the pace. He is, however, down 1. Down 2. In this, his final chance to keep the grand final alive. They're right on top of each other. And somehow Saiga misses. That is awesome. One frag, 1 minute. Neither player can hit anything at this point. They are down in the noob accuracy department. But to be fair, there's a lot of spam. Saiga hits the clutch up the jump pad shot, but Achille gets a good spawn. 79 to 79, 35 seconds. Saiga whiffs in the tunnel, or elevator. Achille, he wants his lead to stay there. He's running around. He is the chicken now, but he runs back out stupidly into Saiga, who kills him. Tied up, 17 seconds. Saiga goes to defend the spot. He misses on Achille. Achille gets the kill. Now it's one frag for Achille, 10 seconds. He's gonna stay in the elevator. There he is, there he is. Saiga has to get it. Saiga gets the kill. Achille will not end it there, and we are going to a second overtime. Brownie points out that this is just going on forever. Saiga missing a really easy shot there and giving up one in return. Achille looks like he's noticed that Saiga is missing, and he is done with overtimes. He says, 2 overtimes is too many. I am gonna crush you now. No one can hit anything. Still, this time 1 minute mark comes and it is in fact 2 frags, with Achille having a chance to get another one. 3 frags, 1 minute. This is a bigger lead than we've seen for a while. 4 frags. Saiga immediately comes back, but it is still 4 frags. Saiga misses his chance for the easy spawn kill. 5 frags, 41 seconds. Four frags. Let's watch Saiga. Five frags, 18 seconds. This would take a miracle. 6 frags. Achilles styling on him. That is game over. And after 2 overtimes and a lot of spam, Achille has managed to bring it to the 3rd and final map. We'll let the chat play out again. Spectator quiet was broken. Oh dear. Yes, the Duel 8 game absolutely had the lowest frags in tourney's history, except it didn't. There was actually a pitch black game that was lower, and it was between these 2 players. But that's because Saiga spent most of the time typing angrily that the map was even being played. So far between these 2 guys, the frag differential was 2 on the first map, decided in the last few seconds. And in this map, ultimately a pretty big lead, but after 2 overtimes. Orb is confused. Alright. Here we go. No, that's not how it is done. Also, shut up, chainsaw. Oh, the hyphen's in the middle. Complex. We'll start on Saiga, because Saiga is actually the complex person here. Saiga's complex was a complete revolution to the style of complex that had been played before. You know, Kuzin and Achille used to make these videos of just them getting, you know, 150, 160 frags against each other on complex, playing completely open. And Saiga said, you know what, screw that. Ever since then, complex has never been the same. Now those are some whiffs. Hey, potato sighting. Achille goes for the point blank chainsaw. No reward there. Tied up after a minute and a half. Frosty, FT Frosty. Another one for the clan log. Yeah, marbles was actually all we could afford in prize money. Steam gift cards weren't so popular back then. We just had some fucking marbles that we gave out. UI sighting. Prims sighting. Oh my god, Prims. See, Saiga just waited for like 10 seconds for Achille to come to him. No one did that. No one did that. Now everyone does that. And Saiga's just gonna chill here. Achille jumps onto the rafters and ends up getting the kill somehow. Oh my god, and this was before the ICTF match later in the day. So the bad blood in the ICTF match was even bigger. Good point, me. We haven't been watching Achille. Let's watch Achille. He's down 4. He's very frustrated. Saiga's gonna wait. Achille styles on him with a ridiculous rifle jump. Does not help at all. But he goes on a sick run right after. Go S9, period. 1 frag after 4 minutes. Achille again with the stylish rifle jumps. Let's check the accuracies. Haven't done that in a while. Not even 40%. But it certainly looks like they're shooting more than 40%. Achilles nick before Achille. Was it Malasorte? During whatever distractions, Achille has got up to a 6-frag lead, which is a pretty big turnaround. Almost a 10-frag turnaround. You can see how fast Achille is with those reflexes there, even though he didn't quite hit the shot. Look how quickly he makes that move up there. No hesitation. The rifle jump to teleporter move takes exactly the amount of time it takes for his rifle to reload, and he still kills Saiga coming out of the teleporter. That's a sick shot. Back to Saiga. He's got some ground to make up, but not a whole lot of it. Brought it back to 1 frag. Nice move there. And chainsaw. Third map, knotted up at 72-72 with a little less than 3 minutes to go. Big miss there. Oh my god. Someone hit. Achille hits. Yeah, Achille played effic. He wasn't gonna win any tourneys, but he was pretty good. When you can hit 50% rifle at will, you're gonna be good at every mode in Sauerbraten. He had the worst chain gun I've ever seen. Ever. Knotted up with 2 minutes to go. That's a big miss. Gets it back though. Down 3 with a minute to go. Pressure's on Saiga. It's his map. It's his last chance. Takes too long on his shot. And someone got banned. Down 5, 42 seconds. Desperation enters in. 6, 7, No problem. I'll just hit everything. Three frags, 15 seconds. 2 frags. One frag. You can feel the nerves. He does not hit the shot. Achille wins. What's up, BBK? You just missed it, but I will highlight this. It was at this exact moment. No, it wasn't. It was more after the Insta CTF final. It was at that exact moment that Saiga decided to play LOL. Yeah, in case anyone didn't believe how serious I was about this, you've got past me reaffirming it. And that was the end of the story. Time for effic. I don't think I have the demos from effic anymore. I will tell you the results from that effic tourney. The results were... I placed top in the all v all. I beat Irez. Aquerda beat What the Fuck, otherwise known as Benkai. Echo beat The Love. Gangler lost to Luffy. Luffy versus Aquerda was a blowout in favor of Aquerda. I beat Echo by 4 on OT. Qualified, faced Aquerda, and got my ass absolutely handed to me. Lost Frozen by 4, and then got destroyed by on Memento by a score so large that I can't even bring myself to tell you it. But I will anyway. It was 65-51. At this time, I was no match for Aquerda. That took another year. Yeah, Skills, you could have, but you didn't. Yeah, Benkai was a Benkai slash what the... Why do I still have a Buick logo? Thought I fixed that, but whatever. Yeah, Benkai was a nice guy. Or W2F, or I don't know why, I can't decide which name I think of him more as, but he was a pretty nice guy. He was a young kid, I think he was like 15 from the Netherlands. He was pretty talented. He was good at FFA, he was good at effic. In the 2012 effic ladder. No. In the 2014 effic ladder, the one that I won, my game with WTF was really close. I think I won by 1 or 2 on Turbine in the 70s. He kept it really low. That would be another cool thing to show you guys if we're doing vintage demo stream, to show you some old deimos demos. Does anyone remember deimos? Yep, Whoop demos. There are no vintage skills demos because nobody cared. I'd still like to know why I still have the Buick chain gun. Just pretty sure that I changed that. Oh, I know what it is. You've got to change it under red and blue also. Always make this mistake. Always. Every single time. skin, Buick, skin, and for the other one, skin, 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 Buick, and skin. There we go. But yeah, let's see what I've got for deimos demos. Deimos demos. So we got to go back to 2014. I could also show you effic demos of like me and Art from back then. Or me and Aquerda from back then. I've also got Saiga versus Gangler in 2014. What? Huh? What tournament is this? I don't even get it. I don't even get what tournament this is. Notice Hanzik. That would be FFA. Achille Notas. What in the hell tournament is this anyway? Yeah, anyway, guys, I'm open to suggestions of the things I tossed out. What kind of demos you'd like to watch, if any, or if we should move on with our lives. Saiga Gangler. I don't know what these demos are. Well, I'm gonna load this real quick, and because I don't know what this is. May of 2014, Saiga Gangler 1 and 2. Is this effic? Did Saiga play the effic ladder? Could not read demo Saiga Gangler 1. Why? Why not? Huh? What's wrong with it? Looks good to me. Older version of Cube 2 Sauerbraten. Alright, the dates on these are not accurate. It says that they're from 2014, but obviously that isn't really when they were created. These, however, are. Probably. Yeah, on, looks like I beat What the Fuck on Academy 63 to 56 in that tournament. But then on Turbine, I won by 1, 77 to 76. And Chaos was sitting in spec laughing. Thank you, Skills. But yeah, as I said, are there any, what do people think? Do they want to see demos? Do they want to see me versus Aquerda in casual games? I don't have any tournament games. Sorry. Do they want to see me versus Art in the final of the 2014 tournament? What do you guys want to see? Or did I already said demos, yeah. Those are the options that immediately come to mind for me. Let's see if this is what I think it is. Whoops, and I hit quit instead of not quit. Yeah, so that's the demo of the grand final with Art. What about something from Deimos? Lagout certainly wasn't very good yet. I obliterated him on Academy and Memento. Obliterated Awu also. Having a hard time finding the Deimos demos. I know they're in here. But I'm also not seeing a lot of chat feedback to imply that I'm not wasting my time. Huh. Well, here's Deimos versus Eternal Solstice. That's pretty interesting. I'm just gonna roll with this for now and see if anyone's watching. I don't even know if this is a tourney game or what. But it's two players that you don't see much anymore. Deimos was kind of the guy who taught me effic back in like 2009, 2010. He was one of the first guys to really be good at the mode. Back when it wasn't a tournament mode yet, when insta was king. And Deimos had ridiculously high sensitivity, so machine gun was never his strong point, and he would just do these crazy long-range rockets and rifles. I don't know why I'm getting FPS lag. But he was always really good on Frozen. Alright, why am I getting such terrible FPS lag? Do I have 2 sours open? That's the kind of thing that might happen. Nope, just 1 sour. I don't know. Alright. Well, that's good for you. Eternal Solstice. Now, he had good MG. Probably still does. You can see Deimos, everything he does is just lightning fast with the high sensitivity and just that being his playstyle. He used to not want to play duels in tournaments. I guess he got nervous. That's sick. But as you can see, when he finally decided to play in the 2014 Summer League after 5 or 6 year career, he was absolutely beasting. Oh yeah, Galaxy, I was laughing at you yesterday because you have a ridiculously high sensitivity. It's extremely obvious watching you play. When you go for long-range shots, you're like only aiming with the keyboard. But when you're doing close-range shots, your mouse is flying all over the place like a bot. I was impressed though. You had some good results. So pretty close match so far, and I think you'll agree that I like to say that 2014 is when Sauerbrotten's skill reached a level where the top players from 2014 wouldn't embarrass themselves today. I'm not saying they would just come in and win everything, but they would still be in the top percentile. Before 2014, the game just had too far to go. But I think you'll agree that Deimos was a legit talent. He's flying around Frozen right now, hitting all kinds of crazy rockets and rifles. Look at those smooth moves. I mean, come on. Sour Shotgun lets him down there. Perfect nade. Eternal Solstice kind of came on the scene pretty randomly. He had a lot of experience in Quake, I believe, and he was really good really fast, and people didn't quite know how to deal with him. He's kind of a somewhat antisocial guy. He came in and like immediately he's talking trash about my playstyle. He's like, "You're really good. Why do you do so many stupid things?" And I didn't really know what to say to that. I said, I don't know, maybe if I didn't do so many stupid things, I wouldn't be good. But then after that, I tried to do less stupid things. Let's watch Eternal for a bit. I don't think this was ever his best map, which is probably why he's losing by 3. He had a much slower playstyle that isn't really suited for this map. He's made a bit of a comeback, though. Got down to 1 frag. If he can hit a rifle here. No, he can't. And Deimos has it back up to 3 frags already. Gets kind of stuck on the ledge there, though. Ooh, now that is some bad luck. Look at that machine gun. Let's go back to Deimos. This is his demo after all. Raphael, I don't know if I would agree with that. He certainly hadn't been super active, so maybe his rifle wasn't as good, but I have a hard time saying he was worse. It was more like he was just unknown, like people didn't remember how good he was. See you, Master. Yeah, I don't know how much more streaming I'm gonna do because, I don't know, random demos from Notice's old demos folder isn't quite as compelling as the last Instagram Grand Final. But, at least we'll play this one out, and that is a sick rocket. I see. Well, you know, people also got better. The effic level in 2012 just wasn't that close to the effic level in 2014 for the most part. And I mean, for some other context, I first started beating Deimos in like 2010. Not regularly. He was way better than me for a while, but I've got my first demo of beating him is like late 2009 or early 2010 on Tartek. I was extremely proud of myself. It was back when he was still in Spank. I think. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. He left Spank kind of early on. So I think it was more that Aquerda and everyone else got way better and Deimos wasn't around so much, but then he came back and he was still really good. Because there was sort of a machine gun revolution in effic. Before, it was like, well, we've got these 120 damage rockets with huge splash, like, we can just fire these everywhere and it'll win. But then eventually someone figured out that if you can hit, like, super good machine gun, nothing else matters because the thing is so ridiculously OP in terms of DPS. And Deimos never really started playing effic that way. And good, because I've always thought that Deimos had the most elegant effic style of possibly anyone to ever play the game. Watching him play OT with just like nothing but long-range rockets and have it work, oh my god, it's poetry. Echo versus Aquerda. I don't know if I have any games of Echo versus Aquerda. A lot of the vast majority of my demos are unlabeled. Sadly. Another cool demo would be if I had Hades versus Echo from that same ladder. That was Hades' breakout game. Echo he wasn't super active, but he came back and he just about very nearly beat Aquerda in Aquerda's top shape. And then Hades comes along and plays Echo in the ladder, and Hades just fucks him up. I don't know, man. It was like 115 to 105. Like something absolutely retarded like that. I don't know, man. It was retarded. So that was a cool tournament, except for Aquerda rage quitting the entire thing and not giving either me or Art our chance to dethrone him properly until Art got to do it later, and I never did. I could stream the games of you failing versus me in the ladder. They're not that great. Like, I've watched them before. Like, we're both pretty nervous, and the level of play just isn't as high as what we were both capable of back then. Like, I've got demos that I saved because it was like, hell yeah, I'm crushing Aquerda. Like, no offense, Aquerda, but it was a pretty big deal back then, so obviously I'm going to save the demos that are important to me, and, you know, you watch those demos, it's a lot higher level of play, but the demos from us on the ladder, you kind of just rush a lot on Academy, and, we're both pretty nervous. But I can stream them anyway. Seems to still be people watching somehow, so I guess why not? They are historically significant. I've also got Tenchi demos, but they're not the most impressive things. They're just Tenchi stoned in like 2013 playing FFA against me. I don't have any Tenchi effic demos. Or do I? Like, I just don't know. Like, if I start in 2014 and read down, it's like 2014, 12, 14, 17, 16, effic turbine. Like, what is that? I don't know. And then there's like 10 of those. And then 10, 14, 10, 14, 05, 44 insta CTF forge, 22708.dmo, effic CTF haste 2014 904, 48539.dmo. I just wasn't that organized, and I'm still not. Yeah, Tenchi effic in 2013, 2014 was sick. And that's what I'm always telling people when they're like, oh, if Tenchi came back, would he dominate? And I'm like, well, no, not right away, but the guy was legit. Like, that man could aim. If he had and that man knew how to win. He had ice in his veins. So if he came back today and it was like, you know, his first thing, like if he got into Sauerbrot, he's like, oh, I want to dominate this game. He would totally dominate this game. The aim was there. The nerves were there, under control. He would be a top player. There's no question about it. All right, let's see. I think these are the demos of us. I just opened Sauerbrot another time when I didn't need to. Wrong one first. Yeah, man. And same with me. And we didn't play too much effic because I was always like, holy shit, it's Tenchi! Tenchi's here! Holy shit, Tenchi, play FFA with me! Tenchi, please! Because, like, Hanslik was the only other guy who could keep up with me in FFA back then. It wasn't even close with anyone else. So, Tenchi comes, it's like, a real opponent, please, Tenchi! Let's play FFA. Oh, God. Alright, here we are. We'll go off on you to start with. And this was for all the marbles. By this point, I believe we knew that Aquerda had rage quit the tourney and would not be coming back. And as such, it was understood that barring some huge upset, the winner of this game would be winning the ladder. Now, as we know, Academy was always your map. Even more so in the later years, but at this point, you already felt really good on it. This was your pick. I still didn't feel like I had no chance on it, but Certainly you were going into this pick with some confidence. You know what? I'm gonna put some text on the top of the stream because people are still coming in and out. I want some context on these demos, and I can't just change the stream title. So let me just quickly put some text, and it's gonna say Raphael versus Notas, 2014 Summer Effic Grand Final. People may wonder why no one is watching, and that's because it was a ladder. Let me add the word ladder also, because that's kind of important. Alright, that's probably way more text than anyone needs to see, but it's there, and we can resume the demo. Now it's immediately obvious that neither of us had refined our games all that much back then, but you in particular. I'd been playing a bit longer, and more importantly, I'd had gear that worked for a bit longer. You had that fucking mouse that would just cut out. I don't fucking know, man. What was the deal with that thing? But for years, you played and you were like, oh, you're pretty good, but just wait long enough and his mouse will fuck up. Some standstill aiming there. Little jump pad magic. And you're up to a nice 2-frag lead to start. Out machine gunning me hard. But I managed to get out and teleport and get over your head. What mouse was that? Weird, man. Is the G400 like kind of an MX518 shape, or like closer to a G500 or what? Or closer to a G300? I'm not sure I know too much about the 400 series. Tons of early Sour players had the MX518. That shape is so legendary that they've actually started making Logitech Nixius, which has the Revel, that was a pretty successful budget gaming mouse a year or two ago. They've come out with a 3366 sensor in a MX518 shape that they're calling the Nixius Revel Fit. And in addition to that, Logitech, it's only in China, but they've made a 518 shape with the Hero sensor. So the 518 shape is getting some respect. If you ask Rocket Jump Ninja, it's not all that good of a shape, but certainly people who grew up with that mouse have always loved it. All tied up as we approach the halfway point. Pretty much just trading blows right now. Not a whole lot of anything happening, really. We're just waiting for someone to fuck up. sick rockets there from you. But not the machine gun you needed. And those rockets were ill-advised. But you got the last one, and now you've got a 2-frag lead. Whereas it was tied just 48 seconds ago. Oh wait, I have a 2-frag lead. I stopped reading the scoreboard correctly. Let's watch me. I couldn't really get my rifle going this game, if I recall correctly. Or if... Yeah, I mean, there's a rifle, but so far this game... Alright, well that helps a lot. So far this game we hadn't seen too much rifle. But now my rifle's involved and I've got a 3-frag lead going. And you kind of just come at me on the jump pad there. Easy shots, easy money. No, not the best play from either of us. I think you were nervous and pretty impatient, and I was nervous and not aiming that well. I remember realizing that I had the mental edge in this game when you kept doing this thing where you would come up the jump pad while I was at teledesk and give me a lot of free machine gun. I was like, if he's gonna keep doing this, I'm gonna win this game and I'm gonna win this tournament. Slow spawn. Probably dropped my mouse off the desk or something. Terrible machine gun. And I get hit by my own nade and your rockets. And I'm just like, shit. Lokio sighting. Alright, well, my lead has dwindled a bit. But I've got the rifle. Your style is way more rocket heavy than it would be in the future. Yeah, lag out, as he used to be known as brain out, was not maybe the best effic practice partner for, for stealing yourself for higher level play. My practice partners were basically you, Aquerda, Echo, and Achille. I had you 4 on rotation, and that was pretty much it. I would play Aquerda when I wanted serious games. I would play you when I wanted us both to beat Aquerda. I would play Echo when, actually, you know what? During this time, I wasn't really playing Echo much because he just wasn't around that much. And then I would play Achille if I wanted to know what it felt like to get hit by a rifle every 3 seconds. Tied up. You've made a run. And that's just a choke on my part. I mean, I'm sure I was like, fuck, fuck, fuck. This is my chance. I can't blow it. Back up 1. All tied. 1 minute 30 to go. Free rifle. I'll take it. And here... Well, I kind of jump off for no reason, so I don't really get as much as I could have out of that. Alright, we've noticed the time. There, you come flying out of the teleport. I get a lot of damage. Rifle, I'm halfway there. Can't hit the follow-up. Get out of there, get out of there, he's coming. Kind of fall into my lap there, so that worked out good. And now you've taken some damage. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Can't hit the rifle, but I get out of there. And there you go. Keep giving me that MG up the pad. I will be all set. And when I hit that rocket, I was like, I win. Frosty sighting. Now clanless again. That's pretty good machine gun, though. That's why I say that in 2014, at least the aim was there. There was room for the mode to grow tactically, but we were aiming pretty well. Nice rocket in my own face. And ultimately, I win by what looks like a less close game than it really was. Somehow I'm also in spec. I don't know why. But there I am. Yeah, not your finest moment. Not my finest moment, but I did settle down at the end there and play my game, which is why I won. Now, there is a second demo. My map pick, Frozen. And Frozen for me, I played pretty well, but I'm not gonna lie, Frozen from you was even uglier, to be honest. And clearly you're able to laugh about it after... What did I just do? Oh, I tried to... Clearly you're able to laugh about it after absolutely dominating the effic scene from 2008, 2015 on, but... Yeah, for this tournament... It was both of our first... It was not my first grand final, but... It was the first tournament where, like, every effic tournament prior to this, I had known that I was going to end up against the Aquarita and I was going to get crushed. Because I wasn't as good as the Aquarita yet. It's just, I wasn't. This was the first tournament where I was like, if I can get to the grand final against the Aquarita, I can totally win. It won't be easy, but I can win it. So, my confidence level going to this tournament was pretty high. And you'd trained a lot, but it was your first effic grand final. Let's watch you for a bit here. You've gotten out to a deficit right away. This was just never your map back then. I don't think. Like, I don't know. Alright, so when you played Frozen in 2014, like, did you expect to win it against other players? Like, if you were gonna play Aquarita on Frozen, what did you feel like your chances were? If you played Deimos on Frozen in 2014. Now you're down 4. That's pretty big to start. Not unfixable though. Now that's just a terrible move. That is absolutely ugly Bush League stuff right there. Deimos, yes. Aquarita, no. But you were beating Aquarita by then. I think we both were. Not every game. Maybe not even half the time, but we'd both gotten good enough to beat Aquarita. Which is why this tournament was so high stakes for us. And for me especially, because I wanted to quit the game. I was done playing Sauerbraten for a while. Well, you're down 6 now. This is just sad. Let's watch me. You know what? Oh, you know what I should do? Maybe not today because I've already been streaming for a while and I want to hype this one up. But I should do the Advent Cup. I wasn't even there for the Advent Cup, but I've watched the demos, and I have them still. That was a much better cup for you, even though ultimately we all know what happened. And the Advent Cup was really only like what is this? This is late summer, right? So it was really only like 4 months after this. Sure, man, of course. And I'll do that on stream. I'll advertise that for maybe next weekend, maybe not. I gotta get ready for... I'm going to San Francisco for a week after the next tourney, so maybe not gonna want to do more than one stream and some training, but maybe when I come back, we'll definitely we'll stream that tourney for the first time ever. I am now up 8. And that's a free shot right there. Yeah, it must have been. It might have even been later than July, because the reason Aquerda rage quit, ostensibly, was that everyone was taking too long to play their games, and he was sick of it. And since it was the Summer League, you have to imagine that summer was ending. Obviously, this is something I can confirm, but that's my guess. If I recall correctly, Fear actually won Division 2 over Chaos, which is just ridiculous. Chaos was a much better effic player than Fear in the long run. What's up, Mattmon Gaming? Mattmon Gaming, what's up? Just watching really old demos from this game's competitive history. We were all very disappointed. Chaos was disappointed. And it's too bad, because Chaos's career, he was just a solid-ass player, and he was a good recruiter. It's just that Sauerbraten was never going to really be something he had time for. He was much too focused on his studies, and ultimately he never ended up winning anything serious before moving on from the game. Was SWAT in that group? It's kind of weird that he was Division 2. He's always been good. Like, even during this time period, I can remember losing to SWAT on OT. Maybe it was before this, but yeah, SWAT was always good. But Division 1 was pretty well stacked. The only thing that this tournament had going against it was the amount of no-shows in the end. Echo played not all of his games. Aquerda, most notably, did not finish his games. But we had Hades, we had Aquerda, we had you, we had me, we had Echo. I'd have to look up who else we had. We had Deimos. You know, Deimos is fucking good. We had Ben Kai, who's maybe not the most notable name, but he was playing pretty well. Yeah, SWAT has a way. We've actually made a bit of a comeback here. I was not paying attention, but now it's only 3 frags. So I need to do something, like not lose. With 2 minutes to go, looks like you're feeling that aggression is warranted. I missed my rifle there. Really should have hit that. And now it's 3 and you haven't taken that much damage. And now it's 2. I get a nice spawn there. That's pretty good machine gun, and the rocket finishes it off, and that helps give me some distance. All I need is a rifle, and I walk right into your rocket. Miss that rifle, but you give me the teleporter shot, and I will take it. Ultimately, you close it to 2, but not with very much health. I spam a teleport, and I get all the machine gun in the world as you get caught in space. Four frags again, 1 minute, 16 seconds. You need a clean hill here, or it's not looking good. That shotgun needed to hit for you. That is not the spawn you needed me to get. 3 frags, 55 seconds. 2 frags. Can I close this out? Will I choke? And that is not how you catch up. Still, 2 frags, 31 seconds. And you get a rifle. We are getting somewhat of a photo finish after me being up for most of the game. That is a nice rocket. That is going to help a lot. 2 frags, 11 seconds. That machine gun seals the deal. And this ultra seals the deal. The deal will not be unsealed. And that was my first and only effic title. You were kind enough to say GG, and then you were gone. But yes, I'm very glad that I got that title. It was really important to me because I had a plethora of silver medals, but no gold, and I wanted to quit the game, and yeah, I needed to win that. Let's look up exactly who played in that tournament. Sourcom, effic 1v1, Summer League, Division 1. Well, we had lag out. Looks like the participants were me, you, Lagout, Deimos, Coco, What the Fuck, Aquerda, and Echo Echo. And Aquerda and Echo Echo are falsely at the very bottom of the standings because they no-showed a lot at the end. Now, this doesn't actually make sense because Hades was in this. So maybe Coco means Hades because it was Hades. Hades was in this. He beat Echo Echo. So I don't get it. Let's go to the Sour World post, see if that makes any more sense. Yep, Fear, Chaos, Gangler were the standings in Division 2. But who in the hell... Hades was in Division 2? That literally makes no sense. But Hades played Echo Echo, man, and it was a tournament game. I'm totally sure of it. It's Hades' fondest memory of Sauerbraten. I've got the screenshots. We all remember this happening. Was it a different tournament? I don't get it. Yeah, I was pretty sure he was from FAC. I just don't know him. I never knew him. So, that's about all I could have told you about him was, oh, guy from Whoop. For some more context on Deimos' skill, I did beat him pretty hard on Memento. He kept the score low, but he lost by only 2 on Frozen. So he was right there. Vacitis is what he was going by in this tourney. Yeah, it looks like I didn't... Oh, there's a fixed screenshot against Tenchi. 113 to 104 in my favor. And there's me versus Hades. I think I kind of always assumed this was from the ladder. Maybe it was a different ladder? I don't know, man. Advent Cup? Maybe. Let's look at that. I don't think Echo played the Advent Cup. Let's look that up. There it is. Hades in the Advent Cup went absolutely nowhere. You put him out in the first round. What an unfortunate matchup for him. Then he went through Rexus and lost to DeGrave, who is much forgotten as an effic player because somehow he was never that good and somehow he won a lot of tournaments. It just doesn't make sense. He won tournaments before the skill level went up, but then he was still dangerous forever. Yeah, and then you had to go through SWAT Llama, and it was a close game. I don't actually understand how these results are being reported, but it says 3-2. It can't have been a 5-game series, so I don't really know what that means. But yeah, then you lost narrowly to Starch in a best of 3 that went to 3 maps. Starch beat Aquerda, also in 3 maps. Aquerda rage quit, so you didn't get a chance to play him this tournament either. Jesus Christ. Did you ever get to play Aquerda in a tournament? Did that ever even happen? And then you went up against Starch and put up an extremely impressive showing that ultimately wasn't quite enough, and humans lost. SWAT Llama, actually, you had to beat SWAT Llama twice. He made it all the way to losers round 5. He was the last guy you beat before getting to the final because Aquerda rage quit. 2015 finals we played, what would that have been, SSL? I don't know how it could have been 5 games. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I was not there. Alright, well, let's look at Super Sour League. June 2015, you beat Neon. August 2015, you beat Neon. Neon was good, but not good enough. September 2015, you beat Frosty. Neon... Oh, you also beat Neon on the way there. Boy, Neon's like the Saiga or the Hanslik 1 to me. Like the Saiga to Achille, the Hanslik 1 to me. October. You beat Egg Seller Aid. I assume that's Aquerda. That's probably Aquerda. He won the first map by 2, but then you just crushed him. Like, not even close. Did he now? Let me go back and see. It's so weird that Hanslik 1 is this great effic player now, because if you look in this tournament, Frosty beat him by 5, and that was kind of always how I thought about Hanslik 1. It was like, he's my main rival in FFA. He's probably better than me in Insta, but not always. And he's just not even a worth a thought in effic. It just wasn't his mode, but now he's a beast. Frosty Lokio. What tourney did Frosty beat Aquerda in? I haven't seen Aquerda in any of these tourneys so far. Well, let's go on to November. Oh, well, November kind of looks like no one played, but nonetheless, top players were here. And Hanslik went through Neon, and you went through Hanslik in a pretty close series, actually. Really close series. I would have been interested to see these. 50-48, 89-85, and 63-61. That must have been dope. September, huh? Oh yeah, Accelerate. There he is. And again, one thing that Aquerza and Starch have in common, they always rage quit bronze matches. If they don't win, they're out. Third place, not relevant. Yeah, holy shit. 51 to 50 and 49 to 47. Never underestimate Frosty. And he beat Aquerda by similarly close scores, but there are never unclose scores with Frosty. And he went through Hanzik 1. This was a great tournament for Frosty. And then in December, they didn't play effic for some reason. They played FFA. Hanzik 1 came and took it for free. Actually, Redon took a game off of him. That's probably the first Redon sighting ever. And then the final was kind of weird. Frosty Hanzik 27 to 5, 25 to 14, and 37 to 22. Yeah, and if you look at the table, it's just disgusting. You've got 4 gold stars and a silver, and the next closest is that Hanzik won once. Meanwhile, SWAT Llama got grand champion in FFA. Kind of the same story as me in SWL. The second best player was Hanzik, and the first best player would just beat up on Hanzik. Hey, welcome back, Master. Hanzik was hiding better than Frosty and Bug combined when he beat you in November. That's funny. Oh, I didn't even notice that he won. I misread it as you having won, but yeah. Looks like it was a pretty epic series. And then it was Sour League. And Hanzik styled on everyone in effic while you took a break. I came out ahead in FFA, even though I was pretty weak. And insta was anyone's game. This was RB's ECTF dominance period, 2016. They were dominant in all team modes, in fact. They had a great 2016. 3 titles in ECTF and 1 silver. 3 titles in CTF, no silver. And 3 titles in ICTF, no silver. So they lost once in team modes. And it was ECTF against Impressive Squad. And then ISL happened. And Hanzik and I split FFA. ISL effic. Hanzik beat Rexus. Insta I won against Lagout. Gives you an idea of how competitive that particular tournament was. February effic. Rexus won against Hanzik. And that brings us... well, miscellaneous tournaments, whatever that means. You have a bronze star in effic there. And then that finally does bring us to Sour Duels and Sour League, the modern era. And as it stands now in Sour Duels, you are ahead in effic, 3 titles, a bronze star, versus Starch's two titles and a bronze star. Rexus has a title, and Hanzik has a title. But Lagout has more jewelry than Hanzik, just no titles. A's with 2 silvers. I snuck in with a bronze. Lokio has the title. He won the first title against Partisan. And that is Lokio's only title. FFA, just disgusting dominance by Redon. Utter disgustingness. No, nothing like this ever has happened in Sauerbraten. Achilles' most dominant stretch. Well, actually, I don't know if Achille really lost between mid-2012 and the end of SWL. So, he was pretty dominant, but still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 FFA titles. No losses. Redon, ladies and gentlemen. And then I have 1 loss, 3 silvers. Hanzik is the silver champion. Lokio and Frosty full of bronze. And insta. Gangler falsely looking better than you with the 1 extra title. Well, he did beat you, so actually really looking better than you. Three titles, 2 bronze. You've got 2 titles and a silver. Starch has 2 titles. Achille, 2 very noteworthy silvers. Rexus with some silvers. Hanzik with 1 title. Frosty with a silver and some bronze, and then bronze, silver. Hades is a notable haver of silver in this era of Sour Run. He's got 2 noteworthy second places in effic, taking you with a tough few games, going through some really hard opponents, and also losing insta to probably Starch. Well, none of this answers when did Hades beat Echo in a effic tournament. When did that happen? It's totally a mystery right now. I can't understand it. If it were a practice game, like, why would anyone have cared? I mean, sure, it's a nice achievement, but it can't have... I don't think it was a practice game. Was it SWL? Was there a forgotten tournament? Totally... no one even remembers that it happened? Don't get it. Don't understand. It's confusing me entirely. Hades didn't even play 2013 effic. Man, I'm lost. What the fuck? Hades Echo. Oh man, I got crushed by Conman and Estos. I'd been playing too much Quake. Conman had also been playing too much Quake, but for some reason he was absolutely beasting in that tournament. I didn't even want to play. I was just supposed to be adminning. But somehow I played, and I made it to the semifinal. I offered to forfeit versus Frosty because I was lagging so bad, but he did not accept my forfeit. Yeah, here we are talking about this in Spank Intern. I remember the game between him and Echo, but I remember it wrong. It's fucking confusing the shit out of me. Here's the screenshot of the game. Hades won 105 to 101 on PSL 3. When is this picture dated? Go to properties, see if it has a date attached to it. Nope, the date is the date that it was created. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure what I can learn from this. Hades shot 31% accuracy. That's retarded. But I cannot understand what the context of this game was. Weird. Yep. Well, then Conman lost to a cheater, so I prefer to forget that entire tournament anyway. When I get rusty, man, I get rusty. Like, Estos was the very end of 2013. In the last SWL in March of 2013, I almost beat... I came close to making it to the final. I got to the finals of the qualies, and I lost to Achille by 4 on Turbine. So, like... yeah, take a few months playing Quake, come back, trash. And the tournament before that... oh, the tournament before that I lost to Pete. Fuck me. Do 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 do. Yeah, well, we'll have to do the I guess we'll never know what the context of that effic game was. Maybe I was just losing my shit because I really did not expect Hades to beat Echo, and it was just a casual game, but I just can't understand why that was. Hades has disappeared lately, which is a bit concerning because we're supposed to be playing a tournament. But he has not been seen in a week. No word on where he went. But yeah, not gonna run the Advent title demos right now. I want to hype those up and do them another time. So unless there are any other demo requests, or Raphael, you want to play those games now, we could do that. I'll just keep the stream running. Those seem to be the two options. Turn on some lights because the sun has set. Up on what I've missed on Discord. I don't know where my second highlight is. Holy crap. 324 messages. That's too many messages. Okay, I give up. Whatever it was can't have been that important. Yeah. Let's too tired another time. We can rematch that Frozen. Yeah. If I beat you in a fic once out of the next 50 games we play, I'll be pretty satisfied because it just ain't close anymore. Alright, that's that then. I am out of ideas for this stream. I think I've been going for like 2 hours. I've been going for almost exactly 2 hours. So that'll do it. Thanks to everyone who had an interest in vintage sour history. I will come back and do this again with the Advent Cup, which I won't be able to say as much about because I was not active. I had left Sauerbraten after the tournament that we just watched, and so I'm not totally sure about the scene at that time, but the games pretty much speak for themselves. They're absurdly close between some really top players. And yeah, we'll watch those. So take it easy, guys. Enjoy the rest of your nights. And bye.